The shocking reason God struck down Onan, a hidden truth about a forbidden act in the Bible. In the land of Canaan, during the early days of the Israelite tribes, a man named Onan lived under the rule of his father, Judah, one of the 12 sons of Jacob. Onan was the second son, following his older brother Er. Judah, like his father Jacob, was blessed with sons and wealth, but his household was not without troubles, a tragic death and a sacred duty. The firstborn of Judah, was married to a woman named Tamar. However, was described as a wicked man in the sight of God, and as a result, the Lord struck him down, leaving Tamar a widow without children. In the culture of the time, a practice known as levirate marriage was upheld, a custom where a deceased man's brother was expected to marry the widow and produce offspring to continue the dead man's lineage. Judah, following this tradition, called Onan and commanded him to fulfill his duty. Go in to your brother's wife and perform your duty as a brother-in-law to her and raise up offspring for your brother. Genesis 38:8. Onan's rebellion against God's law. Onan, though bound by duty, had a selfish plan. He understood that any child born from this union would not be counted as his, but rather as his deceased brother's heir. This meant that Er's lineage would continue, and Onan's inheritance and status would remain secondary. So instead of fulfilling his obligation, Onan engaged in an act of deceit. Each time he lay with Tamar, he deliberately spilled his seed on the ground, ensuring that she would not conceive. His actions were not merely about avoiding responsibility, they were a direct defiance of God's command, driven by greed and self-interest. God's swift judgment. The Bible states, "But Onan knew that the offspring would not be his, so whenever he went into his brother's wife, he wasted his seed on the ground in order not to give offspring to his brother. But what he did was evil in the sight of the Lord, so he put him to death also." Genesis 38:9-10. Onan's actions were not only a rejection of his duty to his brother, but also a defilement of God's design for family and inheritance. His sin lay in his deliberate obstruction of life, his selfish motives, and his disobedience to God's law. Because of this, God struck him down, just as he had done to his brother Er. The hidden truth about this forbidden act. Throughout history, Onan's story has been interpreted in various ways. Some believe it to be a condemnation of contraception, while others see it as a lesson on obedience, selfishness, and divine justice. The true essence of Onan's sin was his defiance of God's will and his refusal to uphold the sacred duty given to him.